Buzz's Retirement Garage, the March 2025 Social Security versus Expenses Update. This is a 5-year experiment. I want to retire on Social Security only and not touch my bank account unless I need it for vacations or emergencies, etc. So I started this journey when I retired in September of 2023. I turned 64 in January of 2024. So from December all the way through last year, we've been documenting on monthly videos how my expenses compare to the Social Security, and do I have a plus or negative at the end of the month. So this is the next installment. This is in March 2025 now. And let's take a look at what we've done. Now, caution. I don't recommend retiring on Social Security only. Again, the experiment that I'm doing is to see if I can preserve the savings that I have and not dip into it. So it's basically getting a budget, sticking to that budget, and the budget number is $38.76. That's the combined income that my wife and I get from Social Security. So for $38.76, I get $25.85. She gets $12.91. That is the gross number before anything is touched. And we'll go through the rundown real quick. And we have had some changes this month, which will be reflected next month. And we've also done some good things, a little bit good things. Let's see if they last. Let's check it out. So property taxes, $491, they went up because we had our 6-year assessment. Now, once I file my taxes, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, we're going to see that we can send in for the, there's a way to get your taxes reduced through an exemption, property tax exemption through state of Ohio. So I'll get a little bit of a reduction there. So we'll wait, but that's probably for July. I pay those property taxes twice a year, but I'm just going to break them down all the way per month for the year. So $491 for those property taxes. House insurance, $68. So we have a 3-bedroom ranch here in Cuyahoga County. So our property or our house insurance through State Farm is $68. Our water, $26, and you can see January, February, March, and $26 is where we're at right now. Natural gas has dropped a little, $209 last month, $161 this month, not too bad. Electricity, $106, $110, and dropped down to $92, so that's good. I put a video out about how every 6 months or so I go and buy my own electric. There's about 20 states in the U.S. that can do that. Ohio is one of them, where we can kind of look around to see what's best. We also have something called NOPEC, which is a community aggregate of about 240 communities here in Ohio, or in Ohio, I should say, that they can supposedly get the prices a little lower, although sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. So, but worth looking at, NOPEC, if you're in the Ohio area. Universal life, yes, that's if one of us passes and we will be losing a Social Security check. You'll take the highest check when one passes. So I assume my wife will get my $25.85, but she'll lose the $12.91. So she has a $200,000 policy on me, and I have $100,000 on her. Hers is only $40 a month. Mine is $160, so that's where we're at. Auto insurance went up a little bit, but still not too bad. I have a 2018 Mazda CX-5, and $56 is what I pay per month. Of course, we pay that twice a year as well. Medicare A and B, it's $185 for almost everybody. Not everybody, but for almost everybody. And so between me and Mrs. Buzz, that's $370. Plan N is what we decided to take. Well, we wrestled between Advantage plans and Plan N and Plan G. And, you know, there's some good things about Advantage plans, and then there's some disadvantages, in my opinion. So we went with Plan N. So far, we've been happy with it, but we haven't had a lot of experience with it yet. Remember, I just turned 65 this past January, so I just got off the ACA. I'm 3 months in to Medicare. So far, so good, but we're paying that $172. Hers is a little cheaper than mine, but we both have the same plan through Cigna. Plan D through WellCare is zero cost for her and for me right now. We'll see if that changes, but for right now, that's where we're at. I just put it on there because if you're going to get on Medicare, you should get Plan D. You can get penalized in later years if you don't take it. So I don't know all the ins and outs, but you may want to look into that. Don't disregard Plan D, which is the drug plan. Dental. She is through one company, I'm through another, but we have a combined $91 a month that we pay. Again, you can talk about having it or not having it. Mine includes vision, hers doesn't. Right now, we're going with it. The ACA Gap plan, like I said, I'm off of that. Been off of that, and I'll take that off the board eventually here. Cable, yes, we have cable, $150. I mean, YouTube TV is getting up into the almost $90 range now. The Cleveland Indians or Guardians broadcasts are $20 on an app. Our Cox Cable gives that to us for free. So for $150, I also get about 15 college stations because I have the a $10 add-on. So when you break it down with all the apps charging more and more and more, and you have to have all these different apps, it's just for us old people, it's just more convenient and easier. And even the screen, the TV guide screen, if you want to call it, is simpler, and you don't have to jump around to all these different things. So for us, it's working. $150. Let's see what happens with that. We're going to keep that for now, though. T-Mobile Internet, I did get rid of Cox Internet at $70, and we've been using the T-Mobile Internet. It's been sporadic, but for $42, I can take the sporadic here and there of just little glitches. No big deals, really. The Ooma home phone, we do have an Ooma home phone. So that's $18. You can actually get it for free. You buy the stuff from Best Buy, probably about $100. And it's actually free. You can have over your internet, you can have the phone. But if you want to upgrade and have like an answering type machine, then you have to pay the $18. It's their premium plan. So, but still not too bad. I've heard AT&T is like $70 or $60. Cox was at $25 or $30. So that's a little bit of a savings. The T-Mobile 2 cell phones, that's where we changed. T-Mobile, we had a plan for a long time. That $64 was 2 cell phones. We had a plan for a long time. It was the Essentials, over 55 Essentials plan. I keep saying Magenta, but it was actually the Essentials plan, over 55. And it was unlimited text and all that. No gigabyte constriction. So, and that was a pretty good deal. But T-Mobile came out and raised our each line $5. So it's an extra $10. So 64 would have went to 74. So, and I did a couple videos about this. We went back and forth looking at different things, and Visible is a good one. Many people talk about Visible, which is through Verizon. You can basically get unlimited everything for $25. Mint Mobile does the same and runs off of T-Mobile's towers. And since we had T-Mobile, we thought we would try Mint. So I got the 15 gig plan at $20 a month. I'm going to try that for 3 months and see how many gigabytes I actually use. And then I may be able to go down to the $15 a month plan. I got her a track phone. So, because she's got the Ooma at home. And then when we're out together, we've got my cell phone. So, technically she doesn't need a cell phone, but I feel more comfortable with her having one. So we got her the track phone. And it's like 1,200 minutes for a year. and you get like 1.1 gigabytes of data and X amount of texts. And it was $99 for the year. So, and we got her a cheap phone, so it was like it's like $9 a month. So we're gonna go from 64, well, which would have been 74, down to 29. Between Mint and her track phone, we're gonna go to 29. So we got a substantial savings there, in my opinion. And we'll try that out. Gas for the car, as you can see, I don't go anywhere. 22 bucks. I fill up at Sam's Club or Costco. Those are the two places we shop. And yeah, so we just run about 22 bucks a month, which isn't bad at all. Now the summer, of course, we'll travel a little bit more, right? And so we'll see what happens there. Restaurants, we actually did pretty good on restaurants. We were at $280, $389 last month because we had some birthdays, and $255 this month. So not too bad. Jersey Mike's is one of our favorite places, and they're not cheap because she's gluten-free. And Jersey Mike's has the gluten-free bread. Subway doesn't do it. Their loss. Good for Jersey Mike's to do that, because it makes us go there all the time. So groceries, always our topic every month, big topic. Hey, we did a little better this month. We went from $7.80 in January, $9.26 last month, to $7.69 this month. And we did pull some stuff out of the freezer. Our freezers are full, which is good. So we'll start taking some of that and then restocking that as we go. And we'll see how it goes, but we're going to try to, I keep saying that every month, we're going to keep trying to lower that number. Plastic, paper, plastic, and soap, only $13. We didn't have to hardly get anything this month. You know, once you buy something at Sam's Club, especially paper products, they're good for 2 or 3 months, right? Home products, so I had $78 in home products, and that was, I got some razors on sale at Sam's Club. I used the Schick or the Gillette, I don't even know which one it is. I think you get a whole bunch of the cartridges. They were on sale, so I picked those up. And we had a couple other things in there, I don't remember what they all were. But 78 bucks. Pet products, so 85 last month because I didn't have to buy birdseed because I bought it in the previous month. This time I had to get my birdseed. Not on sale, but I usually get it at Tractor Supply. It's got the best pricing in my opinion, even better than Sam's Club or Costco. Entertainment was $196 this month. Miscellaneous was $360, and I'll break that down for you on miscellaneous. So we spent $38.91, if you could see that. Our Social Security is $38.76, so we had a negative of $15. And so if you take the 30 in January, the plus 30 in January, the plus 77 in February, and the minus 15 in March, we're at what, $92 or something? Still ahead. So far, this first 3 months of 2025, we're doing fairly well. We're keeping into that budget, and there is room for improvement. Like this $360 for miscellaneous, let me show you. Mrs. Buzz got a passport. That's going to cost $220. Mine will be next month. It's only $160 because I had a passport previously. Printer ink, $5. We have a subscription with HP. I'm looking at the color printers with the Epson ones with the big containers. I'm looking at those. There were some on sale at Sam's. They have a Sam's Club. They have about 4 different varieties of those, so I'm going to start looking at those to see if that's worth buying instead of doing this. Stormwater runoff, $8. Yeah, when it rains on my roof, I pay for that. So, Super Beets, I put that on here because technically it's not a food item. I mean, I could have, but I threw it into miscellaneous. Super Beets, it's the little chewies, I guess you call them. And it was 35 bucks at Sam's Club for a big jar of those. And the oil change and tire rotation, I figured I'll let Mazda do that. They take a AAA coupon or card, so it's 10% off. And I can change the oil, but I wanted the tires rotated, and that's something I can't I can't do with my equipment here. So that's where the 360 comes in. So all in all, not a bad month. But again, I don't recommend trying to do this. Trying to live just on Social Security alone. That's probably not the greatest idea. I know some of you do, and you're getting by. And I know it's tougher for singles. We're lucky because there's 2 of us and 2 checks. Some of you don't have that luxury because, either spouse passed away or never got married or whatever the issue is. And that could be a lot tougher. So if you're watching this in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, even your early 60s, try to save as much as you can. It's always good to have that bank account because, as you know, costs are rising. They're not going to get lower. You might get a little smidgen lower here and there, but for the most part, they're going to continue to go up. Inflation is going to continue to go up. Depending on the pace, we don't know, but it'll always go up. So try to bank as much as you can. Even if it's 10, 15, 20 bucks a week or something, try to just keep trying to get that bank account higher and higher and try not to touch it. I know people at work, they took loans out of their 401k because they had to have the latest gizmo. I mean, yeah, it's nice to do that, but you're going to pay for that in the end. And I'm not a financial advisor, but try to save as much as you can. Try not to retire on Social Security alone. But so far, the experiment's working for us. Last year, like I said, $892 for the year that we took out of the bank. If we can stay under 1,000 for the next 5 years, which, cross my fingers, I don't think that's going to happen. But if we can, that's great. And if we can't, at least the data is going to show us what we can and can't do. And it also can show me where I can cut back. We can cut back on food. We're cutting back on the phones. Eventually, we'll cut back on cable. But like I said, with all these apps going up, I wonder if cable is going to become the new thing again. I just wonder. I don't know. And I know there's going to be some increases and stuff. So let's see how things go through this year. And hopefully we can stay under 1,000 this year. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching this. If you have any comments, and of course, many of you do, leave them because I answer every single comment. So leave them down there, and we'll see you next month. Buzz's Retirement Garage.